QCAA develops and revises curriculum for kindergarten to year 12 to ensure that the state's assessment standards are fair, valid, and equitable. A school's work program is designed under the guidelines set out in the syllabus. The work program that will be critiqued today is that of City Point Christian College's Senior Modern History, focusing particularly on Semester 1 and the relevant assessment pieces associated with it. Before critiquing a work program, it is vital that you are familiar with the syllabus for the particular subject and can identify the educational pedagogies that are at work, the approaches to curriculum, the nature and style of assessment, and be able to identify any possible recommendations for the improvement of the work program. One of the main pedagogies that is evident in City Point's work program is that of inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning is a pedagogical approach to learning that encourages students to seek out knowledge and find truth and meaning in that knowledge. This is particularly important in history as it enables students to investigate a topic which puts them at the center of their learning, and they're able to make their own meaning and understanding of that research that they have conducted. The two assessment pieces that we'll be focusing on in particular is that of Category 1 and 3. Category 1 requires the students to complete an extended written response to historical evidence. City Point has effectively used this category by asking the students to evaluate to what extent the triumph of German nationalism was a crucial precondition of World War I occurring. This particular question is pedagogically approached by the teacher in such a way that there is no correct answer, rather an investigation by the students using the provided sources to allow them to come up with their own answer and seek out evidence or truth behind this. This in itself is a form of inquiry-based learning. The second assessment task is one that aligns with Category 3, multimodal presentation, where students are given a selection of questions or can create their own, arguing the Anzac legend. This is also an important inquiry-based learning topic as it requires students to use a research log to track their progress and understanding of a topic, and at times, after research, their opinions may change, and then this can be seen by the teacher to show the students' understanding and evolution of the topic with critical thinking involving the subject. In an article written by Rodney White called How Thematic Teaching Can Transform History Instruction, he says that history teaching is too often textbook-centered, with the teacher's only clear learning aim being to cover a certain amount of content. In fact, covering content is equated with learning. Teachers present material in an encyclopedic fashion, and the student becomes a passive receiver of more information than one could ever hope to receive, analyze, commit to memory, or understand. This is very true, however, City Point has begun to move away from the traditionalist approach and move towards a constructivist approach. The senior syllabus is one that stems from this constructivist model of education. A constructivist model of education means that the student is the constructor of their own understanding and knowledge and of the world around them through experiencing things and reflecting on these experiences. It means that we are active creators of our own knowledge. To do this, we must ask questions, explore, and assess what we know. This can be seen in the syllabus and the rationale as it emphasizes the fact that education should increase the ability and willingness of society's citizens to participate constructively in their private and public lives. This is a key concept of constructivism, as the underlying principle of it is not to fill students with content, but rather equip them with the tools they need in order to make judgment based on evidence and in turn make wise decisions. This constructivist approach can also be seen with categories 1, 2, 3, and 4 of assessments, with all of them being about students being able to construct their own knowledge based on their understandings of either their own research or interpretation of sources. City Point's work program also shows this constructivist approach of education, with its inquiry-based learning at the forefront of modern history work program. All of the tasks allow the students to analyze and evaluate sources and be the creators of their own knowledge. This idea of constructivism is also one that has been evolving in Australia since 2008, with the Melbourne Declaration of Educational Goals for Young Australians, stating that goal number 2 is for all young Australians to become successful learners, confident and creative individuals, and active and informed citizens. These ideas are all about preparing the student to live more effectively as global citizens, as outlined in the modern history syllabus. To live purposely, ethically, and happily with others, we must be able to make these wise decisions. The next aspect of the work program that must be looked at is that of the nature and style of assessment. In the senior syllabus, there are 3 criterions for exit that must be used when making judgment on the student's achievement. The first criteria is planning and using historical research processes. This is a key attribute of a constructivist approach, as again, it is not knowledge-based, but rather an emphasis emphasis on the processes used to come to the conclusion. This can be seen in assessment tasks 1 and 2 with the use of sources to be analysed, and then the multimodal task that requires a research log. Criteria 2 involves forming historical knowledge through critical inquiry. This particular criteria is about evaluating the worth of sources and being able to critically think. This can be seen in both the tasks in Semester 1. Students are able to show their ability in this criteria by making judgments of the sources and identifying the validity of sources in their second task. Criteria 3 is communicating historical knowledge. City Pointers provide the students with ample opportunities to show their ability and understanding for this criteria, a written response to historical evidence, and a multimodal presentation. Although this is an approved work program, there are some minor changes that can be made to improve the quality of this work program. There are a number of themes outlined in the syllabus that can be used. However, over the 4 semesters, there are only 4 that are focused on and repeated twice. This is effective in terms of preparing students in Year 11 for Year 12. However, it does not encompass a wide variety of learning opportunities and interest-based learning for the students. By including at least one more theme into the work program, students will have a better understanding of history and the historical processes that are required for the exit criteria. The second thing is that the program should include a Christian perspective, especially since it's a school that is heavily influenced by Christianity. This can be done simply by incorporating a Christian-based theme as part of the assessment, or perhaps a period of time where Christianity plays a pivotal role. Lastly, I would recommend that the work program has a rationale. This would be beneficial to both teachers and students to outline the importance and purpose of the assessments. Students respond better when they are aware of why they are learning what they are and how this can benefit them. Essentially, it would be beneficial for the rationale to outline the importance of modern history on their journey to becoming active and informed citizens